Good morning, guys. It is cold and
it was snowing earlier.
Yeah, so
It is 10:23 in the morning.
Yep. We're gonna go get some breakfast and some coffee.
Yes.
And then we're gonna swing by Best Buy, look at some things, and then come back home, and we'll finally be doing the JB4 in the cold garage this morning. So
We need a space heater.
I think we'll be okay.
I don't know.
You could get a coat.
It's freezing.
Hopefully installing the JB4 doesn't take too long, and hopefully will be pretty easy. The most complex parts is having to disassemble like the air intake and strut bars and get down by the wastegate to plug in those two connections down there, and then putting it all back together, and then routing it, figuring out how to mount and locate like where the actual box for the JB4 will go, and then route the cable for the OBD2 through the firewall or steering column or wherever it will go best into the main cabin and into the OBD2 on the driver's side. So let's get going. All right, we made it here to Starbucks. It's now coffee time. Coffee. Okay, so we got coffee, which was interesting because
we were literally shooketh by my dad.
Yeah, he walked in and we didn't see each other, and then they called her name for our drinks, and he was like, wait a minute, and turned and saw us. We didn't see him, so he like grabbed me and shook me, and I was like, oh, hi. And then she was like, who is that? Oh, hi.
Yes, I realized it was him as he like came in like for a barrel hug.
So that was fun and interesting. Weren't expecting that. But now we have made it to Best Buy, as you can see. So we're gonna go look at some things, and we'll touch base after Best Buy, probably when we're back home, but we'll see. All right, so we're back home from Best Buy and getting coffee. We picked up a tripod to be able to film a time-lapse better of this. So now we're finally gonna be putting in the JB4, which we have right here, for the B58, which, if you didn't know, is the engine inside the Supra. The Mark V Supra, that is. So we optioned the Bluetooth connection kit, so we can control everything from an app on the phone, which definitely worth it. And then right here we have the OBD2 connector. It's pretty straightforward. And then all the newer Burger tuning JB4s come with this already wired, which they used to not. But anything 2021 and up, they recommend that you get this, especially if you're running ethanol, which currently we're not, but after a while, I think a couple months in the 2021 cycle, they made it standard on all the newer JB4s. It's very quality, which I was very pleased with. This is aluminum. It's got a good finish. Feels well machined. The engraving is very nice. It's nice to know that they took pride in what they're doing. So the first thing we're gonna do is we actually, if you see right here, these Allen keys, we're gonna open these up and open the unit up so we can connect the Bluetooth connector. And then after that, the next thing we're gonna do once the hood's open is route the OBD2 cable, and we'll try and show you how we do that. And then after that, we'll probably go to a time lapse after talking about how that goes and how I routed it, because there's a lot of stuff to take off and wires to run. So there'll be some good amount of time lapses for this. But let's get started with putting the Bluetooth connector in. we have the cover off the JB4. As you can see, here's the brains of the actual tuner and not just the case. We will be hooking up the Bluetooth connector. It just connects right here. It comes with 2 screws. Once it's on, it'll just screw in and secure it, and then we'll put the cover back on. Just take this out. There we go. Nice and easy. Okay. Tricky because of the bulges right here on either side. Slide this back in here, just like this. Oops. Okay. So now the Bluetooth module is connected, and we're probably gonna secure it. Probably zip tied to this or something like that. We'll see when we get to actually securing the whole unit in there. But next we are going to run the OBD2 cable, and I'll show you how you can do that. Got out my HKS Tune toolkit, which is just made for the Supra, and I'm gonna use the E14 socket with the fancy inside. I don't know what it's called, but to take off the strut, and then we'll pull out the air intake and then wire everything. And we could wire all this here and here ahead of time, but it'll be easier to hide the wires underneath all this. If we just take it off now, then we don't have to route everything under and through. We can just put it where we want it, secure it, and then set this back in on top. So we're gonna do a time lapse of taking off the strut bracing and the air intake, and then we'll come back when it comes time to plugging things in and zip tying things. We're gonna open this right here up. You just twist this, it shows lock and unlock right there. Just twist that and unlock it, and then make sure this doesn't pop out. And just pull that out like that. Pretty simple. Just set that there. Then if we come in here, you'll see right here, there's this little notch right there. If we stick a long enough screwdriver through there, it's hard to see on camera from this side, but there's a little, like, looks almost like shiny black, almost like rubber, but I think it's like a plastic hole or circle. And if we stick a long enough screwdriver, which I think I'll have to get a longer one, if we stick that through there, it'll pop out in the driver's side, and then we'll be able to tie that onto here and pull it through nicely. So we're gonna see if this is long enough, but I don't think it is, and then we'll get something through there and show you what it looks like once it's in from the other side. So the screwdriver wasn't long enough, so we grabbed this metal yardstick thing that we chopped off like a yardstick sign holder, and that was plenty long enough to go in there. It wasn't plastic, it was rubber, real soft to poke through real easy. So we're gonna route this end from the inside, attach it to the cable and pull it through in the engine bay. If you come look what it looks like over here. You want me to show them, or do you want to get, okay. So if you come, if you come down here and look up, see, I don't know if you can see that hole on the left side of the screen right there. That's what we poked through. That's where we'll pull it back in the engine bay. And then the OBD2 is right there. So we are going to attach that to the pole and bring it back through, and then that will be the end of wiring anything for the tuner inside the car. So that was pretty simple. The most difficult thing of that whole process of getting it routed through the firewall into the car was undoing the stupid wire twist tie thing holding the cabling together. We got the JB4 all connected to where it needs to be, and wires are routed and zip tied and all secure. We got the strut bars and the air intake put back in. It was a bit tedious, but I think the most difficult part was trying to find a good place to put the actual JB4 unit itself by the power steering column and secure it well. We looked up some other people's ideas and things they had done, and a lot of them used foam to sandwich it, but I didn't really want to come sandwich the foam all here like a lot of people did and be pushing up against all this. So instead we wrapped it, it's down here back behind all this. You can't really see, it's down in there. You see it?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's down here, hanging. It's secured and wrapped in some marine carpet, and it's not gonna move or shake at all. And it's padded, and it's out of the way. It's not touching anything except it's not touching anything. It's hanging like center of this, or a little further back than center. Not touching this wall and not touching any of the other components. And one thing you have to be careful with is routing this cable here. You want to make sure it's going this way and not gonna be pinched when the hood comes down. So everything's tucked away, not touching anything. And it's routed under here, under the brace. Secured and hidden under the ECU. Then it comes across here and goes under this line, which is really easy to pop out and put everything under. And the first connection is here, and it's hard to tell, but it's that each connection has two connections, one to the JB4 and one to the car. So those are just stacked. Looks pretty clean. And then the next wire comes here along, and then it connects here and then under here, and then the electronic wastegate goes down here, under there, around this side, down to the wastegate. So all in all, it was pretty simple, just a little tedious pulling off the struts and the air intake, but only did one side of the strut, so it wasn't too bad. Really the most difficult part was getting the air intake back in and making sure it was all hooked up correctly and snug, and getting that heat shield in there and making sure that it was all back in the rubber grommets securely, because those can be a little tricky and sometimes they're hard to get secure and popped in if they've been taken in and out a lot. Securing this in here and figuring that out was probably the most challenging part, but thankfully it's done. So now we can do the last bit of cable management under the driver's footwell, and then hook it up to the car and actually get the tune on here and hopefully be very impressed. Got everything tucked away and ready to go. Got the app installed. We're going to turn the car on ignition but not start it. Now we're going to open up the app, scanning for the kit. Yes, link. It's connected. So now we're gonna go into settings. It's on map 1. And we are going to go with map 2. And now we are going to go back to display. It says what map we're on. We can either disconnect or start logging. We just installed it so we don't have logs, but if we had logs, they'd be in here. This is where we can read or delete codes. And here's all the settings. In here, you pretty much don't want to touch most of this. You can modify some user settings and stuff, but you know, where it says don't touch, definitely don't touch that. We're actually going to go in here real quick and make sure we have the latest firmware. Okay. So now we're updating our firmware, making sure we're all up to date. Then we'll double check that we're on map 2. And then we'll probably just change some personal preference settings after this is done. This may take a while. And then we'll try it out on the road. And we'll get to see what the lights look like. So that's cool too. We got the car warmed up with no tune on it at all. Now we just put on map 1 at the stoplight. We're in normal, not sport. We're gonna see how it is. So far, definitely seems a bit more
quick in the reaction.
Yeah, it seems like the throttle response is better and the boost pressure is higher, even in comfort mode. I'd say map 1 comfort mode feels close to normal sport mode, just without the noise. I'm gonna slow down a bit and then do a little bit of a pull in normal after this light.
Holy.
Yeah. So, in comfort, it's fast with map 1.
Yeah. Oh God.
Okay, so we're gonna turn here and then we'll put it in sport with map 1. Sport's on. definitely is a difference. More boost pressure, more throttle response, but still like controllable, nothing insane. It's very smooth and handles very nice. The downshifts right there didn't feel jerky at all or anything, so that's good. Never mind.
Alright, we'll come back when we go map 2. Alright, so we've stopped completely at a roundabout at a yield sign to put it in map 2.
So I'm going right now.
Should we take it out of sport?
No, we can leave it in sport. We're in map 2. Here we go in map 2. You can definitely tell, like I said before, a bit more throttle response. Definitely more boost pressure. You can hear it. So far, I haven't been able to really open it up much. Definitely wants to get going fast, a lot faster off the line. But it's not like just giving it a little throttle doesn't send you in the back of your seat. It's very controllable and like it's smooth if you're smooth. Which, so far, all good things. Okay, so it's the next day. Connecting to the device with the app for the JB4. It's still in map 2 because that's where we left it last night, and we're gonna see how things are in the daytime now. It's a little bit warmer, not too much, but a little bit. We'll see how things are in the day, get some better footage. One thing I want to point out is in the daytime, the lights, the footwell lighting still looks decent, but it's not as like prominent. It doesn't glow as much in here. And this lighting here is definitely not as bright, but it also doesn't look horrible. So it does look really cool at night though. Definitely gonna keep it. Even during the day, it still looks good back there by the subs. So, but let's get some good footage for you guys with the tune on here and see what it's really like, especially during the day. Alright, so we just did 2 decent pulls, and I was surprised. Like, I was caught off guard out of nowhere. It was just like, holy crap. Insanity. On the video, I think it might be hard to tell. Need to set up like a camera in here to like see like me, and like if I wish it would have caught my reaction. I was surprised. I was like, holy cow. Like, and there was more. It never topped out or anything. There was always more it could go, and I was just like, okay, time to get gone before the cops show up. There's on one of the videos she took of the drive-bys, when I pass and I'm downshifting to slow down, you can hear, it sounds like gunshots from probably almost a quarter mile away. cylinder should not be this powerful. That the JB4 is definitely worth the money, especially since you don't have to have all the upgrades that we have on here. You can just stock Supra, throw the JB4 on, and it'll still be insane compared to just how it is stock. Like from the factory sport mode, that was pretty cool. Like that was like, holy crap, this is a race car now. They were right when they engraved on that box for closed course use only, because the amount of power in here now, we're talking like racetrack or drag strip use only. Even on the highway, like you can't touch the top end legally anywhere on an actual road. Like it just doesn't let up. There's always more it can give. This thing's nuts. Let's turn off sport mode. Cool down a bit. This thing's fun. I just realized we forgot to outro the video. So, if you enjoyed that, please smash that thumbs up button. And if you want to see more Kelter Crew content, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned, because we got some more super stuff coming soon, and probably like some Christmas vlogs and all sorts of fun stuff. So make sure you keep a lookout for that. Anything you want to say?
Till next time.
Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.